Hello everyone, welcome to Tarot Angel Intuitive. I'm Jess. I'm a psychic medium and an intuitive reader. And I figured we'd do something a little different today. We're going to do a pick a card. And our pick a card is actually going to be what is stalling you in life right now. So for pile one, we have this one. This is actually a Porsche 918 Spyder. For pile two, a 1965 Shelby Cobra. And then for pile three, we have a 1963 Chevrolet Corvette. So take a few seconds, kind of see which pile is intuitively drawing you to it. Again, pile one, pile two, and pile three. And we'll make sure I have timestamps in the description box for you. And if you're drawn to more than one pile, then you may have multiple messages that are going to help you figure out what is stalling you in life right now. So I'm going to give you about 15, 20 seconds, and then we're going to jump right into pile one. If at any point this resonates with you, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps to get the messages out to those that need to hear the message. It's whatever the YouTube algorithm is what I'm kind of working against sometimes. Okay, so let's get started. I've already shuffled and I've already pre-pulled the cards. It does save a little bit of time. But if you picked pile one, the Porsche, we're going to find out what has been stalling you in life or on your journey or has kept you kind of stuck. Okay, so we have the Four of Pentacles. I'm also not a traditional tarot reader. I do a lot more with the energy, so sometimes my interpretation may not necessarily be textbook interpretation of it. I'm being told I need to lay all the cards out, so we're going to do that first, and then I will see what the message is, and we'll go from there. Okay, let's move this. Okay. I'm tapping into the energy of this. Okay, so for this particular pile, I'm picking up that you have recently encountered, or you have still not processed the death of a spouse, of a partner, of a significant other. I'm picking up on a sense of, to a certain degree, disbelief. It almost doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel like They're no longer here with us anymore. And you feel like your world has flipped upside down. Everything that you knew of love and stability and happiness, it's not there. It's not the same, and it's kind of put you at a crossroads. I mean, you really do feel stuck in this. I'm hearing the word purgatory, and for some of you, you may have received some kind of financial compensation for it. Maybe an insurance payout or a settlement that has to do with the cause of death. But it's not what you want. You know, you want your person back. You want your soulmate, your significant other, your partner in crime. You want you want that person back. Like I said, I do pick up on energy. And the level of grief, I'm getting way choked up here. So the level of grief that this has caused in your life, it's almost easier for you to go through the motions, and you have to be in this limbo state for your own survival at this point, because life just doesn't have the same flavor anymore. And the money or whatever you received for the compensation of the death of this loved one is not worth it, and you would trade it, you would give it back in a heartbeat if that meant that you could have your loved one back with you here. And you feel, you know that they're watching over you, but you still feel so disconnected. You know, the physical distance and not being able to hear their voice and not being able to reach out and touch them is really a struggle for you. And you could be feeling extremely isolated from the world, from your friends, from things that used to give you joy and pleasure. It all feels pointless to you now. Because even though you may enjoy them in the moment, it's fleeting, because whenever you get home, you don't have your person to talk to them about with those things and share them with. And I also am feeling anger. Why did they leave me? Why did they have to go? I'm hearing the word cancer, and I'm hearing heart attack, as if it suddenly happened, or it came quickly for some, or yeah, for the heart attack, that one was a quick thing. But I'm also hearing, why did you not go get it checked out? Why did you wait so long? Why didn't you take the treatment when it was there? Why did you have to be so stubborn? Why did you have to leave me? Because it could have all been prevented. So there's also that anger mixed in with the grief. And you're going back and forth in between them, and you don't want to be in those emotions anymore. And with this card, I see that you keep replaying what you could have done different, what you could have said different, what could have been, what other step, what other option could I have done or could they have done where we're not in this situation that we're in right now. And I'm just going to show you some of the cards so you see what I'm talking about. And the number 8 is standing out to me significantly, which is also a symbol for eternity. And you guys made a promise to each other, or they are letting you know that you guys will always be connected. So for some of you, the number 8 could be a sign that your loved one is showing you or sending you that they are here with you. They are eternally connected to you, just like they promised. And with this particular card, it shows me that, you know, one of you is here trying to hold on to the other one that has already passed over, yearning for that physical touch that you just cannot, that you just don't have here anymore because one is already crossed over. And in this particular card, he looks like he's in agony on his knees. Why did this have to happen to me? Why am I left alone? And so I feel that you have been asking those questions. You've been crying out, trying to get answers for those. And it's showing that your person is still there, guiding you, supporting you. You know, it may not be in a physical sense anymore, but you are still connected. You may feel like this, but your person is telling you that they are still connected to you. You guys had a bond that was unbreakable. You may even feel like you feel them standing behind you or watching you, that you're going about your day and it just feels like somebody is there, but when you turn around, there's nothing there. And that's them letting you know that they are here. They're always here with you. They're always going to love you. They're always going to support you. You can always talk to them. When you're on your knees, just talk and they are around you. You're not alone. You're not by yourself. They are supporting you and loving you and guiding you. And it's all just in a different way. And sometimes having the love and guidance and support on the other side can be more beneficial for your soul's purpose. It may not feel like it right now. The grief is overtaking you, the anger is overtaking you, and you just have to feel it and allow the emotions to come. Honor the emotions. Don't get lost in them, but acknowledge them for what they are and feel them, and then allow them to flow and to pass, because emotions are just like energy. I mean, they are energy and they need to flow. So if you feel like crying, then cry. If you feel like screaming, then scream, not at somebody. You know, we don't want to hurt other people. If you need to go, you can go to the gym or go hit a punching bag, or, you know, some way to release it. Be creative. Pick up a paintbrush and just paint with no purpose, and find a way for the energy and the emotions to flow so you can allow them to move through you as you go on this journey of grief. And reach out and find people that can support you in this journey as well. No, I have to go here. So growth, we have the jaguar for the spirit animal. Maturity is the ability to embrace change, and change cannot happen without death. This death does not necessarily mean physical death, but it could be the ending of a relationship, a situation, or simply your decision to not continue with same old habits. You will get through this. But your life will not be the same. And sometimes, part of the grieving process is to grieve the life that you once knew. You can still cherish it for what it was, but it is the end of a chapter. Just remember, though, by ending the chapter, it doesn't mean that you're dishonoring your loved one by moving on. Your loved one wants you to experience love and joy and happiness. So please remember that, especially later on in your journey, or if you have found another companion that you might be interested, it's not going to be the same. But you can have different experiences, and it's okay. It's okay to move on. You don't have to let the death of this loved one stop you from living the rest of your life. It's just you starting a new chapter. It does not dismiss the importance of the other chapter. And forgiveness. If you're feeling angry about a past issue, the elephant is asking you to discover the more vulnerable feelings behind that anger. You're being asked to forgive and be gentle with others as well as yourself. Forgive them for making a choice that led to them passing away, them losing you. Forgive them and forgive yourself if you are carrying the guilt associated with that. You're so much closer to a powerful breakthrough than you may realize. So you've been praying for things to heal, new opportunities to appear, relationships to improve, and these prayers will be answered soon. I'm seeing in the tarot, I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune card. It's a cycle, and even whenever it's the darkest times, it's not always going to stay that way. It never stays night. Day always chases night, and vice versa. And sometimes you just have to get from one day to the next, from one meal to the next meal. Break it down into more bite-sized pieces if you need to. Like I said, get from breakfast to lunch, from lunch to dinner, from dinner to bedtime. So just doing smaller steps sometimes, and then that means you're still moving. So you can get out of this place of being stuck. It's time to stop letting worry rule you. Instead, get excited about your future and all it will bring. What energy and emotion you put out comes back to you. With a little conscious effort on your part, that happy ending can and will be yours. Believe that. Now, for somebody specific, I'm seeing the image of a car parked out in the driveway. And every time you look at the car, because it's the car of your partner that passed away, it brings you sadness. It brings the negative feelings. It reminds you that they're gone. I'm being told to let you know that it's okay to sell the car. That is a very specific message, but it's coming through very clear. Sell the car. I'm hearing go on a vacation. So if that does resonate with you, please let me know where you're going first in the comment section. But it's coming across that your person doesn't want you to stay in this grief place any longer than you need to be. Feel it, process it, and they want you to move on and to live a fulfilling life. It's just going to look different, but you're not betraying them. You would be betraying them by not living your life to the fullest. And if looking at any item of theirs here that they cherished here on earth, know that they have no attachment over on the other side. Their only attachment is to you being happy and you feeling loved and you feeling like you are not alone, because you're not. They're here with you. They love you. And they need you to know that. They need you to know that they are not gone. They have not left you. And they will always love you for eternity, like they promised. So pile one, this is a shorter reading, still very, very impactful. And as I said before, if it resonated with you, or you'd like to share your stories in the comment section, please do. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button. And I will chat with you the next reading that we do. All right, if you picked pile 2, we have the 1965 Shelby Cobra. So let's see the cards that we get. We have the 4 of Wands. So pile 2, we need to figure out what is stalling you on your journey in life. Okay, I'm going to lay the cards out and then we'll get a read on everything together. So it looks like we have a few surprise cards in here. Let's flip them. All right, give me just a second. I'm going to tap into the energy and see what we can get worked out. Okay. So what I'm picking up for you is that you're not really happy or content with your life at this moment. It's almost as if things got very serious. You had to step into a role that has stifled who you are internally. I'm hearing the word student to teacher. And so the dynamics change. When you're a student, you have the capacity for it to be okay if you make mistakes. And you have the capacity to kind of explore new ideas. And if you say something wrong, it's okay because you're learning it. But as the teacher role, you have to be very authoritative. You have to be very knowledgeable. You have to be professional. It's almost as if you have to be, I'm hearing prim and proper, corporate and stuffy. And it's not, maybe the career that you've picked is not the career you thought it was. You're missing out on the joy of life. You know, everything is kind of buried underneath your obligations. You don't get the freedom to dance and to sing and to enjoy the things in life that used to give you, that used to make your heart sing. It's not there anymore. It's not carefree anymore. It's almost as if you had to give a piece of yourself away in order to move up in the world. You traded it in. You traded in the life force is what I'm seeing as this one. What gives you the joy? And you had to hand that over to get the position where you're at. You know? And, you know, with this one, the bear usually represents more of like a mama bear. And I'm not necessarily picking up on a feminine or masculine energy. It could be either. Nothing is strongly coming out. I'm getting more the role of a protector, of a provider, of somebody that has to be the big one in charge. And there were sacrifices that were made in order for you to climb up to get in the position that you're in. And I think these sacrifices was this piece of yourself that you handed over. And this one was saying, take off your mask. And I want to point out that we have the ballet slippers that are right here. And the significance with this is that they're hanging up. They're not even on her feet. She had to hang them up and put a mask on. And she doesn't look amused. Look at her face. She looks sad about it. That she's not able to do something any longer that gave her joy. So advice for you in this one, because again, this is what is stalling you. Why can't you have both? And that's going to have to be where you are reevaluating your roles in life, what you want out of life, what brings you joy, and can you incorporate it in the lifestyle that you are living now, in this position. I'm feeling it is a position of power. Like I said, it's that authoritarian position. Sometimes walking away is the only option, not because you want to make someone miss you or realize they took you for granted, but because you finally respect yourself enough to know you deserve better. You know, sometimes you have to walk away from situations that you've outgrown or that are no longer serving you in the way that works for you anymore. You can outgrow places, you can outgrow people, you can outgrow things. You're meant to be here on earth to live life and to love and have joy and experience things in life. It doesn't have to be about things you can buy, because when I'm getting here, things that brought you joy was the carefreeness of it. Like I said, good music, dancing. We have the dancing in here twice. So finding something that lights you up is going to really revive a part of you that you haven't felt for a while. I think it's going to finally stimulate you and bring another component that you didn't realize you had missed so much. We have the frog for a transition card. So this is a powerful time of change. You're being called to connect with the world of emotions and feminine energies. You may also need to engage in a process of cleansing, whether it's physical, spiritual, emotional, or energetic. And the feminine energy is an energy of flow, of creativity, of movement. And by engaging in activities that allow that energetic flow, then it's going to give you more of a balance in your life, because you could be more in that masculine energy. Every person has a feminine and a masculine energy within themselves. That's how there's balance between the two. So this is not referring to gender in any capacity. And honestly, for this particular pile, I'm picking up on a lot of masculine energy. Okay, so observation. You're being encouraged to look beyond deceiving appearances into the true reality of a situation or person's motives. You need to hear what is really being said despite the words and emotions coming from the messenger. You need to observe yourself and your own beliefs and values, because that could be keeping you stuck in this role. You may not necessarily need to change the job or the people you're around. You may just need to change your own perspective of what that role looks like. Sometimes as children, we're taught that a powerful boss or authority figure has to be stern and has to be unforgiving and has to be, X, Y, and Z. You have the whole list of traits. It just depends on the profession that you're in. But why does it have to be that way? Can it be a situation where you can be authoritative and compassionate instead of just authoritative? It's telling you to go for it. Try it out. You can, like I said, you may not have to change careers. You may just have to change your approach so that you can encompass all of you, where you don't just have to be a boss of this corporation and that's it. You're that boss of the corporation 24/7. And that's the only role that you have. Why can you not have your off time? Why, when you're not at the job site, but you're at home instead, why can't you be yourself and let loose when you're at home instead? So maybe you are the one stalling yourself by feeling that you have to sacrifice all of this when it's not necessarily the case. So sit down with yourself. You could have the infinite abundance. You could have it all. But you have to make sure you're feeding yourself. She's got this big basket of fruits here. You have to make sure you're nourishing yourself in what you're doing. It says you need to ignore what everyone else is doing and achieving. Your life is about breaking your own limits and outgrowing yourself to live your best life. So you're not in competition with anyone else. Plan to outdo your past, not other people. So if you're in this dream position and you love what you're doing, but you're not happy and you feel like you're missing out on something like the joy that you used to have, why can't you have it all? What is holding you back? And those are some questions, again, that you really need to think about. Are you standing in your own way? And for this particular pile, I do believe that you're in your own way because you are believing a set of traditions and values and roles and expectations that somebody else placed on you. Why can't you be a game changer? Why can't you do it differently? You're not everybody else. And maybe that is the best thing for everyone involved, for you to embrace that. Bring a little bit more fun and enjoyment into the workplace. I'm sure you see those co-workers more than you do your own family for this particular pile. It doesn't have to be miserable all the time. But in order for you to go ahead and continue on your journey, you really have to look within for the answer for this one. And if any of this resonated with you, please feel free to like and subscribe the channel. But I think it's a great message. And it gives you very direct, this one was a very direct one. It gives you something specific that you can work on and challenge and really take time with yourself to see what can be done different. You don't have to overhaul the whole system with this one. Just make a few small changes here. And I think you'll see the world of difference. And then you'll see progress. You'll feel that you feel good enough to, it's almost as if you've gassed up the car and you're ready to go now. Not that there was anything wrong with the car itself. You just needed to refuel. All right, pile 2. That was a really great message. Short, sweet, to the point. But again, it gave you clear insight. So thank you for spending time with me, and I will chat with you next time. All right, pile 3. If you pick the 1963 Chevy Corvette, this is going to be your pile, and we are going to answer what has been stalling you in life, in your journey here. So, Queen of Wands. Look at the reds in that. Oh, it's great. Okay, I'm going to lay all the cards out, and then we are going to... I'm going to take a little bit of time to collect the energy, and then we'll get right into your message. Okay. You had a few hidden cards with the pull, so let's see. If at any point this resonates with you, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps with that algorithm. And feel free to share any comments in the comment section. I'd love to hear everybody's stories about the journey that they're on. Okay, so I'm going to take a second and tap into the industry or the energy, and find out what has been stalling you in your progress. Okay, so for this particular pile, I'm getting two distinct messages here. And this is a collective read, and there's multiple people that are kind of watching this and tapped into the energy. And it is a general read as well, so it would make perfect sense why I'd have a couple different storylines. First of all, I'm getting an energy where clearly we've got the divorce card. So there is an ending of a significant relationship. I'm seeing these two cards here with that Queen of Wands energy, and this Rider energy. It's almost as if you were left, somebody ran away, but whatever it was, there is a clear ending for the relationship, because there's a mirrored positioning with the wands, kind of putting up a boundary to whatever that person, I'm seeing it like, kind of passing by you is how I'm seeing the card needs to be. And there's almost a sense of not necessarily disbelief, but kind of, I'm sorry it had to be this way, but I felt like you were protecting what your values were. So you were being true to yourself, and I feel like you had to put a boundary up, which resulted in the ending of this relationship here. You essentially put yourself and your needs above this one because they were not respecting and valuing you in the way that you needed. And it's interesting because I didn't mention the word love. So you may have recognized that this person didn't love you. Yeah. So in doing that, it's almost as if they were trying to take you on this wild ride with them, and you weren't about to do that. And so when I see, I've got the eagle and the raven, and it's interesting because both of them are looking the same direction that she is. And he's seeing the same direction too, but he's riding off a whole different direction. I think you've sent him well on his way. But we have the vision. You saw what was happening, and you had the confidence in standing up for your belief systems. The Eagle card says it's time to look inward with an attentive eye. Allow your heart to guide you, and opportunities you never dreamed were possible will present themselves when you least expect it. So get ready for greatness. And then with the Raven, we have the Confidence card. So you're encouraged to disconnect from the physical or materialistic plan and move to the spiritual realm. You have a deep spiritual connection, which you mustn't ignore. You are on the brink of transformation, and your divine purpose may be revealing itself. And so with the one group, I feel like it was a physical relationship where they were not treating you with the respect and treating your values with the respect that you knew that you deserved. And the other way that I see it is that you recognize that there is this is for the other group, that there is a disconnect internally with your spiritual self. And I've just got ringing in my left ear. But there is a disconnect within yourself between the physical world and how you're living versus your spiritual fulfillment. And so now you want to kind of explore more of the spiritual side of things, which means getting rid of superficial ideas, getting rid of negative self-beliefs, changing environments that are not bringing you joy and happiness, in order for you to connect on a more spiritual level with yourself and feel more connected in general with everything. And so when I see this home card, I see this woman here, and it's almost as if she's really doing a lot of introspection and seeing kind of what is guiding her, because I do see this light, and she's not looking at the light, she's looking at whatever's in her hand with that nostalgic feeling. So is she getting distracted and not working on the spiritual side of things? And so it's her in this state of having a separateness and really revisiting past actions and past situations that could have led to where she is and the reasons she's deciding to make a change. So we have the law of attraction. And I'm picking up a strong influence too on getting back to nature, reconnecting with nature to help find yourself, help find some of these answers. But this one says, each thought is an investment that pays immediate dividends, so invest wisely. You have the power to choose your thoughts and align them with love, peace, and harmony. At your request, we will gladly attune your energies to higher frequency. So you realized this relationship, either with a physical person or within yourself, was not fulfilling you anymore. And so you're being stalled because there is this disconnection. And so by reaching out and talking to spirit, talking to God, talking to angels, talking to whatever that higher power is that you believe in, whatever name it is that you feel comfortable talking to, by asking them for help, by talking to them, by letting them know exactly what you want out of life. You know, you may say you want love and a partner, but you need to be specific. What characteristics are important to you? And so the more specific you are, then the more spirit can help you. You just have to be open to receiving it in the way that they send it and learning to connect yourself and your intuition. And the only way you're going to get good at it is to practice it. Focus your mindset on what you can control instead of what you can't. The world is your oyster. Elevate your thought patterns so you can attract abundance into your life. You are what you believe. And so you need to really sit down with yourself and figure that out. What are my beliefs? What do I hold valuable? What is important? What kind of qualities do I want in relationships? For me personally, I don't have expectations of other people. If people want to be in my life and in my inner circle, I have requirements. It's not much, but it is hard for a lot of people to do. For me personally, I require transparency. I require authenticity. I require accountability. And I require consistency. And if you can't give me those things, that's fine. No harm, no foul. But if you want a relationship with me and to be in my energy and to be in my inner circle, then it's a give and take, because I'm going to give you those things as well. There is reciprocation in it. And so sometimes just being able to sit down and spell it out, what kind of relationship or what kind of qualities you want, not only within other people, but within yourself. What are your values? That's going to help you pinpoint it. And then that's going to help Spirit be able to help you as well. And get you out of this state of being stalled and stagnant. Because if you don't give them anything, then how can they help you? But you have to be able to learn to do that. Spirit is kind of bound by a set of certain rules. So they can't step in unless you ask them to. All right, final message. Go back to the heart of who you truly are. Look there. You will find peace. Look at your life in its entirety. Acknowledge any old wounds and then release them. Use what they taught you as added strength and keep moving forward with a renewed sense of confidence. And we had confidence in this one, and we had vision. So really taking a look at everything in front of you, this nostalgia, and seeing what worked and what didn't work, and what gave you joy and what made you feel connected and what didn't, and being able to spell it out so you can speak it clearly and know specifically what you are looking for. And then you will see that things will finally get moving in a direction that you want them to go. But it looked like to me you changed your route entirely, which is okay. That's what life is about. And overall, this is a really, positive, encouraging thing. You did the right thing by standing up for yourself and recognizing it. So now you just have to get to the next step to really spell it out, what you don't want and what you do want. And then you ask for it, but you have to see it clearly and be confident that that's what you want. And the only way to do that is to really look and reflect on what it is. Figure out what your heart's desires are. And get rid of things that are no longer serving you. That's okay. Thank them for what they taught you, and then let them move on. Release them back to the wild. All right, pile 3. That was a really good message as well. And again, if anything resonated, feel free to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you feel led to. I would love to have you. And let me know what's going on in the comment section, because I really am interested in everyone's stories and things too. But I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Thank you for spending time with me, and I will chat with you next time.